Hey everybody in the VC, it's Matt again for the third time this weekend. Kind of early in the morning, but I thought I would go ahead and do the best reissues. I did yesterday. I did a video on my favorite albums of 2013. So thought I'd do one on my favorite reissues also. This is famous Linus and Lucy by the Vince Guaraldi Trio, released Black Friday Record Store Day just a month or so ago, and yeah, so you know what that is. There's really no explanation needed for that, other than last year they did the Charlie Brown Christmas album, reissued that on green vinyl. So moving right along, we'll get right to the obvious. Beatles at the BBC Part 2, or Volume 2, or whatever. Nice cover, 3-album set. Obviously anyone watches my videos knows I'm a huge Beatles fan, so this is no surprise. I debated getting these because these are way too expensive. I think I actually paid like $59, so I got it for a little bit of a bargain, if you want to call it that. But I think these go for $60-something. So just because I'm a Beatles nut, so I do pick up everything Beatle related, much to my chagrin. But some of this stuff I get and I'll play it once or twice and it'll go on the shelf. I really don't think I've listened to the anthology records, probably not since the 90s, but I have been playing this, and as I've been playing this, I've only had this about a week, and I've played this several times, and I've really been enjoying it. Whether it'll, after a few more plays, whether it's going to become something that's just a pretty piece in my collection that gets put on the shelf, kind of remains to be seen. But for now, I think I am quite enjoying it. I had BBC Part 1 that came out back in 93, 4, whenever that was. It got lost in a move. It wasn't on vinyl. Unfortunately, it was on CD. So, and I do remember enjoying that one. But so far, yeah, I've been enjoying this, and it's the Beatles. So again, there's not really much of an introduction or explanation needed on that. Um, let's see what else we got. And here's another record store day. And I apologize for that because some of this stuff maybe isn't going to be so easy to find. But Record Store Day, the Doors album is picked by Record Store Day record owners or somebody associated with Record Store Day. It's one side is studio stuff, which is supposed to be rare, even though they're not really rare. They're just the mono versions of Break On Through, Soul Kitchen, Moonlight Drive, and When the Music's Over. The other side is live tracks from various concerts. It's just nothing really special about it. It's just a good selection of Doors music, and it flows together nicely. So I really have enjoyed that and played that quite a bit. The other one, I'm not going to show the entire box set. I just pulled one of the albums out of it. Sly and the Family Stones box set that came out this year. I'm a huge soul music fan also. Sly Stone is one of the greatest and the best, and this set has a lot of really good stuff that I hadn't heard before, and it's just a kind of a reminder of how great Sly Stone was. This is, what is this? Secret Stash Records, Free Angela, the Larry Saunders, the Prophet, sung by Larry Saunders and the Prophets of Soul. That's actually a various artists. It's just an early 70s soul album, which is 69 to 72 era. Good stuff. So check that out. And what do we got left here? And no, let's do this first. Another record store day that was just the recent Black Friday record store day. Cheap Trick box set of their first 5 albums. Again, I don't know that needs too much explanation. Just the Live at Budokan album was out and big when I was in 9th grade, so that really takes me back, and I've enjoyed reconnecting to Cheap Trick. Hadn't really had any of their records in a long time. Um, Last one, Numero Records label, which I've talked about before, which if you are in any way, shape, or form a fan of 60s or 70s soul, you need to run over to the Numero Records site as soon as possible because they've got, well, you'll be a little upset with me because you're going to see about 50 records that you just can't live without, so you're going to spend a lot of money over there. But they reissue, in primary, a lot of old soul 45s and albums that are kind of no-hit wonders at groups that nobody ever heard of on small little independent labels from all over the U.S., which doesn't mean it's not great stuff, because it is. And they do other stuff too. They do some rock and various other things, but soul's kind of their forte. And so this is Eccentric Soul, the Dynamic label, which was a little nothing label out of Texas, I believe. I think so. Anyway, so this is just a various artists compilation of bands on this label, bands which you're never going to have heard of, but bands which you should hear. And this is double album, top to bottom. It is just chock full of great classic, not classic as in known, but classic as in wonderful, and you need to learn about it, soul from the early 60s through the 70s, and this is just one of several albums that they put out this year, but I think it's one of the best, and that cover is really cool. That's a great cover there. Some guy doing the Jimi Hendrix thing, playing guitar there, and probably in some little club in San Antonio or something. The last, the last one is another Numero record, but they have the Numero Phone label too. King Bullard version songs of the BOS label. These are, here's the inner sleeve, kind of cool looking. Pictures of the various bands. The other side's just the little information about the bands that nobody's ever heard of. But yeah, it's gospel music that's stone cold soul funk sounding as you're ever going to get. So whether you're a believer or a heathen, you're going to have your soul moved by this if you pick it up and check it out. So, best of the reissues, and that is for 2013, and I think that is that. So, all good stuff, all worth checking out, and have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll talk to y'all later.